Oh, the Deadwood stages are rolling on over the plains, with the curtains flapping and the driver a-slapping the reins. A beautiful sky, a wonderful day. Whip, crack away, whip, crack away, whip, crack away. Oh, the Deadwood stages are heading on over the hills, where the engine arrows are thicker than porcupine quills. Dangerous land, no time to delay. So whip, crack away, whip, crack away, whip, crack away. We're heading straight for town, loaded down with the fancy cargo, care of Wells and Fargo, Illinois. Boy, oh, the Deadwood stages are coming on over the crest, like a homing pigeon that's a-hankering after its nest. 23 miles we've covered today. So whip, crack away, whip, crack away, whip, crack away. The wheels go turning round, homeward bound. Can't you hear 'em humming? Happy times are coming for to stay. Hey, we'll be home tonight by the light of the silvery moon, and my heart's a-thumping like a mandolin a-plunking a tune. When I get home, I'm fixing to stay. So whip, crack away, whip, crack away, whip, crack away. Whip, crack away, whip, crack away, whip, crack away. Introducing Henry Miller, just as busy as a fizzy sarsaparilla. Ain't a showman any smarter, operates the Golden Garter, where the cream of Deadwood City come to dine. And I'm glad to say he's a very good friend of mine. Hi, Joe, say, where'd you get them fancy clothes? I know off some feller's laundry line. Hi, Bo, aren't you the prairie rose smelling like a watermelon vine? Here's the man the sheriff watches. On his gun there's more than 27 notches. On the draw there's no one faster, and you're flirting with disaster when Bill Hickok's reputation you malign. And I'm glad to say he's a very good friend of a friend of mine. Oh, the throat's as dry as a desert thistle in May. In the Golden Garter, gonna wet my whistle today. Last of the bars, a three-legged crow. Set 'em up, Joe, set 'em up, Joe, set 'em up, Joe. Set 'em up, Joe.
Hello and welcome to the Fab 50s here on Brighton and Hove Community Radio. This is Ron Sherritt. We're also, of course, on Mixcloud and I think a few other places as well. It's good to be with you, and it's good to be playing some of the music from the great decade, the 50s, the decade, in fact, in which I was growing up. There you heard what else but the Deadwood stage from the film Calamity Jane from the 1950s. I remember that came out about 1954, I think, and she played the title character, Doris Day, on the Deadwood stage.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it's gone right to my head. No matter where I roam, on the land or the sea or the foam, you'll always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it's gone right to my head. No matter where I roam, land, sea, or foam, you'll always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home. Show me the way to go home. Tired and I wanna go to bed. This little drink about an hour ago has gone right to my ooh. No matter where I roam, the land, the sea, or the foam, you'll always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home. Easy now. Da-da-dee. Ooh, I'm gonna suffer for this tomorrow. Oh, baby.
Show Me the Way to Go Home was a song by Max Bygraves in the 50s. It was very popular then, and you heard it then, and he was all round entertainer, was Max. Like, you can't fault him on anything. He was a good actor, he was a good comedian, I suppose, and he was a good singer. Max Bygraves there, and Show Me the Way to Go Home.
Well, I never felt more like singing the blues, 'cause I never thought that I'd ever lose your love here. Why'd you do me this way? Well, I never felt more like crying all night, 'cause everything's wrong and nothing ain't right without you. You got me singing the blues. The moon and stars no longer shine. The dream is gone, I thought. There's nothing left for me to do but cry over you. Well, I never felt more like running away. But why should I go? 'Cause I couldn't stay without you. You got me singing the blues. Singing the blues, 'cause I never thought that I'd ever lose your love, dear. Why'd you do me this way? Well, I never felt more like crying all night, 'cause everything's wrong and nothing ain't right without you. You got me singing the blues. The moon and stars no longer shine. The dream is gone, I thought was mine. There's nothing left for me to do but cry over you. Well, I never felt more like running away. But why should I go? 'Cause I couldn't stay without you. You got me singing the blues.
Singing the Blues there by Martin Robbins, released in 1956. It was also recorded by Tommy Steele, Cliff Richard, and Guy Mitchell. I also like the Guy Mitchell one. That was the best, that was the first, 1956, and you heard it here on Ron's The Fab 50s here on Brighton and Hove Community Radio and Mixcloud.
Come to the station, jump from the train, march My sweetheart is a soldier, as handsome as can be, but suddenly they sent him away across the sea. So patiently I waited until his leave was due, then wrote and said, my darling, I'll tell you what to do. Come to the station, jump on the train, march at the double down Lover's Lane. Then in the glen where the roses entwine, lay down your arms, lay down your arms and surrender to mine. A soldier is a soldier, and when he's on parade, an order is an order and has to be obeyed. You've got to do your duty wherever you may be, and now you're under orders to hurry home to me. Come to the station, jump from the train, march at the double down Lover's Lane. Then in the glen where the roses entwine, lay down your arms, lay down your arms and surrender to mine. The girl who loves a soldier is either sad or gay, 'cause first of all he's with her and then he's far away. But soldiers have their duty to answer to the call, and that is why I'm calling the loudest of them all. Come to the station, jump from the train, march at the double down Lover's Lane. Then in the glen where the roses entwine, lay down your arms, lay down your arms and surrender to mine. 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 Lay down your arms and surrender to mine.
Lay Down Your Arms there. A number one in 1956 for Anne Shelton. She was a popular British singer in the 50s. Anne Shelton and Lay Down Your Arms.
When it's spring again, I'll bring again tulips from Amsterdam. With a heart that's true, I'll give to you tulips from Amsterdam. I can't wait until the day you fill these eager arms of mine. Like the windmill keeps on turning, that's how my heart keeps on yearning for the day I know we can share these tulips from Amsterdam. Spring again, oh, I'll bring again tulips from Amsterdam. With a heart that's true, I'll give to you tulips from Amsterdam. I can't wait until the day you fill these eager arms of mine. Like the wind keeps on turning, that's how my heart keeps on yearning for the day I know we can share these tulips from Amsterdam. Share these tulips from Amsterdam.
There again we heard from Max Bygraves. He was one of the most popular entertainers, I think, in the 1950s. I remember him especially because I was a little boy then, and I used to listen to Educating Archie on the radio, and he was in that. Yeah, I think also it was right that he sang virtually at every Royal Command performance in the 50s. The Queen must have liked him.
There once was an ugly duckling with feathers all stubby and brown, and the other birds in so many words said, "Get out of town. Get out, get out, get out of town." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack in a flurry of eiderdown. That poor little ugly duckling went wandering far and near, but at every place they said to his face, "Now, get out of here. Get out, get out, get out of here." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack and a very unhappy tear. All through the winter time he hid himself away, ashamed to show his face, afraid of what others might say. All through the winter in his lonely clump of weed, till a flock of swans spied him there and very soon agreed, "You're a very fine swan indeed." A swan? Me a swan? Ah, go on. And he said, "Yes, you're a swan. Take a look at yourself in the lake and you'll see." And he looked and he saw and he said, "I am a swan. Whee! I'm not such an ugly duckling, no feathers all stubby and brown. For in fact these birds in so many words said, the best in town. The best, the best, the best in town. Not a quack, not a quack, not a waddle or a quack, but a glide and a whistle and a snowy white back, and a head so noble and a heart. Say, who's an ugly duckling? Not I. Not I.
'Twas in the year of '89 on that old Chicago line, when the winter wind was blowing shrill. The winds were froze, the wheels were cold, then the air brakes wouldn't hold, and number 9 came roaring down the hill. Oh, the runaway train came down the track and she blew. The runaway train came down the track and she blew. The runaway train came down the track, her whistle wide and her throttle black, and she blew. The engineer said the train must halt and she blew. The engineer said the train must halt and she blew. The engineer said the train must halt, he said it was all the fireman's fault, and she blew. Now the fireman said he rang the bell and she blew. The fireman said he rang the bell and she blew. The fireman said he rang the bell, the engineer said you did like, and she blew. The porter got an awful fright and she blew. The porter got an awful fright and she blew. The porter got an awful fright, he got so scared he near turned white and she blew. The conductor said there'd be a wreck and she blew. The conductor said there'll be a wreck and she blew. The conductor said there'd be a wreck and he felt the chills run up his neck and she blew. The runaway train went over the hill and she blew. The runaway train went over the hill and she blew. The runaway train went over the hill and the last we heard she was going still and she blew.
Now there you heard two together there. You heard The Ugly Duckling by Danny Kaye and The Runaway Train by Michael Holiday. He was a singer in the 50s who was compared very much to Bing Crosby. If you listen to his voice, people sometimes thought he was Bing Crosby. But there was a subtle difference between them. Now, he used to sing the theme tune to a very popular children's puppet program which I used to watch called Four Feather Falls, about life in the American cowboy town, and he sang the song.
When I was in the army, I was a cavalryman, you know. And whenever I went on parade, a magnificent picture I made. Through my galloping here and my galloping there, this ridiculous habit I've got. And I'm hanged if I don't think I'm galloping now, whether up in the saddle or not. And the people, they stare at me so, for it matters not where I may go. It's bumpity, 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 bump, as if I was riding me charger. Bumpity, 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 bump, as proud as an Indian Raja. All the girls declare that I'm a gay old stager. Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the galloping major. Last year I thought I'd treat myself to a holiday by the sea, so I went and my quarters I fixed. Then I found that the bathing was mixed, so I galloped away to a bathing machine in the busiest part of the day. And I soon felt at home with the girls in the water and joined in their frivolous play. They were beautiful creatures, but Lord, how they giggled as soon as they saw me. Bumpity, 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 bump, as if I was riding me charger. Bumpity, 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 bump, as proud as an Indian Raja. All the girls declare that I'm a gay old stager. Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the galloping major. I always was a ladies' man and a favourite with the sex. Well, I called upon one yesterday, though I won't give the lady away. She started to talk of my army career and was quite interested, you see. But I got rather tired, so we talked about her, which was more interesting to me. And she said I'd been taking some wine, for as soon as we sat down to dine, I went bumpity, 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 bump, as if I was riding me charger. Bumpity, 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 bump, as proud as an Indian Raja. All the girls declare that I'm a gay old stager. Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the galloping major.
Excuse me being old-fashioned. I mean, I love modern music as well as the 50s and 60s stuff. But I must tell you that back in the 50s, they had some real entertainers like Max Bargraves and like that chap you heard there, Stanley Holloway, singing The Galloping Major. It was very popular on the children's favourites on Saturday morning. You remember with Uncle Mac? The Galloping Major by Stanley Holloway.
My darling, to the Tennessee Falls. When I'm hungry, I have to see. I introduced her, my darling.
Alma Cogan there and the Tennessee Waltz. Alma Cogan was a very popular young girl singer in the 50s. She was on the Sunday night of the London Palladium a lot, and again I think she was on the several of the Royal Command performances. Her style didn't fit there as we went into the 60s. She had a lot of hits in the 50s and very popular with all-round entertainer. But as we went into the 60s, she just wasn't, her style just didn't fit there. And sadly, she died. I think it was about in 1966. She died very young.
I'm leaning on the lamp. Maybe you think I look a tramp, or you may think I'm hanging round to steal a car. But no, I'm not a crook, and if you think that's what I look, I'll tell you why I'm here and what my motives are. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes by. I don't know if she'll get away, she doesn't always get away, but anyhow I know that she'll try. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes by. There's no other girl I would wait for, but this one I'd break any date for. I won't have to ask what she's late for. She wouldn't leave me flat, she's not a girl like that. Oh, she's absolutely wonderful and marvelous and beautiful, and anyone can understand why. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady passes by. I'm leaning on the lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes by. I don't know if she'll get away, she doesn't always get away, but anyhow I know that she'll try. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady goes one-a-da-da-da-dee-bum-bum. There's no other girl I could wait for, but this one I'd break any date for. I won't have to ask what she's late for. She wouldn't leave me flat, she's not a girl like that. Oh, she's absolutely wonderful and marvelous and beautiful, and anyone can understand why. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady passes by.
Well, that was a song recorded in 1937, in fact, by George Formby, but it was popular right through the 1950s and recorded again and released in 1966 by Herman's Hermits, George Formby and Leaning on a Lamppost. Now, this is Brighton and Hove Community Radio. I'm Ron Sherratt, and you're listening to the Fab 50s.
Send a little girl for me to thrill. A girl who wants my kisses and my arms. A girl with all the charms of you. sunlight in her hair, and take the brightest stars up in the skies and place them in her eyes for me. Venus, goddess of love that you are, surely the things I ask can't be too great a task. Venus, if you do, I promise that I always will be true. I'll give her all the love I have to give, as long as we both shall live. Venus, goddess of love that you are, surely the things I ask can't be too great a task. Venus, if you do, I promise that I always will be true. I'll give her all the love I have to give, as long as we both shall live. Baby, Venus, make my wish come true.
Francis Avalon, born in 1940 there, with a record he released right at the end of the 50s. I think, in fact, it was just in 1960, called Venus, Frankie Avalon and Venus. Well, this has been great being with you today here on the Fab 50s on Brighton and Hove Community Radio. We're now going to go out with the Everly Brothers and Kathy's Clowns. See you next time.